privilege to introduce both of you. Uh, Next year, I think, will be 25 years of your marriage. So, yeah, congratulations in advance. It's been, I think, quite a true marriage of minds and hearts. You champion each other, you're each other's companions, comrades, and he's an actor and you're his anchor. So I think it's quite a remarkable relationship. And taking that forward, I wanted to ask you about how it's been these last 24 years and how do you see the next 25 years together? I hope. Sandhya, you first.
Hello. It's been very exciting. It's been wonderful. Um, I think, click because of our sensibilities. When you were, and I give full credit to him because he's a true contemporary, truly feminist man. Reading, music, and there are just so many other facets of life which we share. I think we feel it's just like a couple of years that we've been together.
Amol, has she made you a feminist or were you always a feminist?
She made me aware that I was a feminist. But that, that only will be half truth, because initially, many years ago, when I started thinking, I realized that my thoughts were always trying to give equal justice to women, which was being denied for centuries. And when I became aware of that, it started reflecting in my work. It is with Sandhya joining me, it became much more focused and much more meaningful, hopefully.
But you're a very naughty boy also. You've been very naughty on screen, right? You've always dangled women or tried to chase them, even if they don't agree, taken lessons from Ashok Kumar, all sorts of random people on how to, what do you call it? Pataw a girl. Very naughty.
In fact, I was not naughty at all. I was, as a hero, I don't think I ever did any naughty thing with my heroines.
Maybe not on off screen, but as your character.
No, off screen I may have.
Oh, that's a confession. And you've acted with some of the most remarkable women on screen, right?
Absolutely.
Lucky you.
Absolutely. I mean, I have been most privileged, I would say, starting from my first heroine, Vidya Sinha, to Zarina Wahab, to Bindya Goswami, Deepti Nawal, Rameshwari. I would even Shabana Parveen.
Smita, very
Smita,
bad to
yes,
Smita.
yes.
Very, very
But
bad.
I would also like to, I mean, most of the people may not know, but the Malayalam film which I did, I had two lovely women. One was Ambiga and another was Purnima Jairam. Both of them were such fine actors.
And fine women.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, starting, I mean, in Bengali, starting from Sharmila Tagore.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been most privileged to have fascinating, beautiful, lovely, very intelligent and very romantic women
I wonder how it influenced you.
Sorry?
I wonder how it influenced you. How did it influence you?
Well, I think it inspired me much more to, you see, if you see most of my characters, I never express in words, which is expected from the hero or the male, to say I love you. I think I must be the only hero who has never uttered those words on screen. Uh,
Someone is clapping at that. I wonder why.
no, because that's where most of the men would identify. They either they feel it's below their dignity to express as a uh, or embarrassed or ill-equipped. They don't know how to say a simple thing like I think most of the Indian men can't say sorry. Similarly, they can't even say I love you. But I, with all those lovely heroines, I learned how to convey it to them without saying it and conveying it in a very effective and affectionate, loving manner.
Sandhya, I hope he's learned to say all these words now in real life. Otherwise, it would be very difficult.
Actually, I must admit that he's very romantic. Yeah, I mean, between two of us at least. Um,
How does he display this romanticism?
well, when to begin with, I was a lawyer, his lawyer, and advocating one of his cases against censorship. And that was the time all of a sudden I started getting uh, bouquets of roses. And I had no clue who's sending it to begin with. And they never used to be names and all that. It took me 2 years to figure out who was sending it.
He was so
seemed
embarrassed
genuine.
to say that it's he who was sending the roses.
No, he would come with a very poker face. He's a fantastic actor. So he would come with a poker face. So I had no clue.
Okay, so we also thought we'd do something a little different this time. We have a whole lot of photographs from Amolji's career and life, and we wanted to go through some of these photographs and ask questions related to it. So, could we have the next slide, please? Yeah, this is the viewfinder. This is actually the title. Yeah, I think they can see because of the. So this is actually the title of his memoir as well, and there's a story behind it. Amolji, talk to us about the story. Why is your memoir called A Viewfinder?
Well, if you read the book, there is quite a bit written in detail about this, why the title Viewfinder and what it signifies and what it means to me. The title Viewfinder was, of course, suggested by Sandhya. I think it is for those who don't know and those who haven't read the book. Viewfinder is an apparatus, very small, very handy, which used to be necessary for the director during my time. Why necessary? Because there were no other assistance or other help for there were no monitors that what is being shot or what I exactly want to shoot was not easily. Today now on your mobile you can do that. So I mean all those things were not available to us at that time. And so this viewfinder allowed you to not only choose a frame, choose the exact lens that will give you that frame, the angle, low angle, top angle, whatever, and all the things which the director needs to convey to his director of photography, that I want such visual, that for me to determine that visual, viewfinder was necessary. Now, the story behind it, I'll tell you in brief. When I chose to become a director and start my career as a director, I was sharing that with Rishida, who was very fond of me. In fact, he looked at me almost as his son. So I shared it with him and I said, this is what I want to do now. He just got up, went into his bedroom and came out with this viewfinder and gave it to me and said, keep this with you. Now, the most touching part of it was not only that he gave that to me out of so much affection, but that was the same viewfinder which was given to him by Bimal Roy. Bimal Roy had given his viewfinder to Rishida when Rishida made his first film called Musafir. So he gave that to me, was a very, very huge responsibility, I thought. And I mean, all the films that I did with the help of that viewfinder. Till recently, when all the other apparatus, all the other things were being made available. But most of my films which I directed, I did with my viewfinder. And therefore, I thought that these memoir which I have written, it's from a particular point of view chosen by me and sharing with you.
One of the most remarkable images that you conjure in the book is of you swimming and of Sandhya sort of holding you afloat. And in a way, she has done that in the book as well. I think all the additions that you've done to the book, apart from, of course, translating it from the original Marathi, and I think it is almost as if he's speaking, it's so beautifully done. You've also brought in these QR codes, which are very interesting. You can access those and go to his movies and, talk a little about why you decided to do that. It's quite innovative.
You're talking about the QR codes? When I started curating the book, the major hurdle was he did not save a single photograph of his any career, whether it was painting, theater, movies. So I really had a very hard time that here I'm dealing with the most seen kind of a person on screen, and then I can't offer anything to the viewers or to the readers. So I used to ask his co-actors, Dipti, give me some photographs. Do you have X, Zarina? They would give me some, very low resolution kind of. So I approached somebody, a collector in Mumbai, who used to collect his photographs, his posters, his everything. I paid money to him and I got so much that it was impossible to accommodate all of it in 300 pages book. As a result of which I thought that maybe now that we have the possibility of scanning it and then seeing it on your laptop or on the large screen, I tried to embed the QR codes for the posters, for the photographs. But then we also thought that since most of you also might not have seen most of his films which are directed by him, 15 of them, maybe you might have seen Paheli, But I think that was a great opportunity to give it as a gift to the readers that you can scan our films and watch it.
So you had to pay to get his own life back in a way. That's
That's
quite
true.
a remarkable thing. So I think that's one of the things about people who are so deeply involved in the creative process. They don't think of posterity. They're just, or legacy. They're just so deeply involved in their art that so I suppose that must have been your life as well, just going from one film to another, to one idea to another.
Not just saving his own stuff. The reason why we stopped making films was also we fed up of this promotional aspect of it. I mean, you write something, you create a film and present it to people, but to stand on the rooftop and say that, hey, look, we've done something brilliant. Can't be. Let people decide whether it's brilliant or not. But that's not, I mean, you have to sell the product these days. So I think it's not in our nature to do that, probably, and which is bad. I must say that.
No, but I think you've done well. That's all right. Could we have the next frame, please? Yeah. This, of course, is Rishida, and that's Bindya. That's Golmaal? No,
Yeah, that's cool, man.
that's Golmaal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful days. The next, yeah, the next, yeah, this is, I mean, this is actually what he trained for, art, from the JJ School of Art. So, I mean, how much do you think your painting affected or influenced your acting, or your acting influenced your painting? I mean, was there a sort of synergy?
Well, let me say this, that my painting and to a great extent my theatre both have been overshadowed by my film image. Everybody knows me from the film, but which is also natural because the film gives you so much larger than life image that it remains with you and it's easier to remember that way. But my painting, I don't think it influenced my acting so much. To an extent, yes, that, as I said, that in my paintings you can see the minimalistic
Yeah.
approach, so which I carried in the acting also. Not saying much and yet trying to convey much more, kind of a thing. But as a director, definitely. I mean, if you see my films and if you see the frames, each frame, I mean, even in a grand film like Paheli,
Yes.
the frames and the
Actually, the texture of the film, the palette of the
Yeah.
film, everything
The
he knows.
costumes, I think,
yes,
Yeah.
of course, the costumes credit goes to her
Right.
for Paheli.
It helps to have the visual
Yeah.
dimension very strong.
it just occurred to me. Do you remember the first time you saw yourself on a poster? In those days, they were hand painted, right? Do you remember that first time and what was it like?
Yes, I remember, and I very much remember the embarrassment that I had.
Only you can be embarrassed about seeing yourself on a poster. Other people would be happy.
No, I was happy, but I was more embarrassed because till then I could move around very freely with people in the crowd without being noticed. And I suddenly find people looking at me and started, oh, are you the same kind of a thing?
Was that Chitchur?
Yes,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it did happen, but
Rajnikant.
Rajnigandha. But more embarrassing factor was that it used to be hand painted at that time. So I said, "Arey, ये नाक कुछ ठीक नहीं बनाया है," and oh, this could have been better. This is not. So every film that was released, my worry and anxious days used to be कि वो जिस किसी ने मेरा पोर्ट्रेट बनाया है वो कितना अच्छा बना रहा है या कितना so it used to be that kind of apprehension that
Right.
I used to live.
Right. So the first time somebody noticed you, where were you? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. In fact, that was the first fan mail that I received, and it was from a dentist. And
Male, female?
that male, I think, he said कि आपका ये दांत, it requires some treatment and etc. etc. And you have such a beautiful smile, but you need to have a better set of teeth.
You had a gap here, right? Is it still there?
No,
Oh.
no, I got it correct. I followed his advice and
This-
got it correct.
I remember, I just saw that in I think a Chitchor song, and there was a gap here, right here. So you followed his advice.
all those flaws were because of my excessive smoking,
Oh, right.
which also I gave up. So
What, 40 a day or something?
So he used to smoke 72 cigarettes a day for 35 years.
I'm surprised your lungs are still.
But no, he has lungs. His lungs age is 137 years old person. But he's quit also for last 30 years. So and he doesn't smoke at all.
At all. Why did you smoke so much? It was just sort of anxiety or just a habit?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I remember I started smoking in college, and I used to love that. I
He
used
loves
to-
the tobacco aromas. We used to have a pipe. We used to have cigars.
everything, and I loved it. I gave up, or I could give up easily, was a miracle,
Right.
because I myself never thought that I would be able to give up the kind of smoking I used to do. You won't believe, before going to bed, last puff, and then go to bed. And the moment I got up, first thing I did was light a cigarette.
Right.
It was only when I was asleep that I didn't smoke.
Thank God for that. So I think we saw Golmaal, Chitchor, Gharonda. And in a way, it's actually the story of every man in a big city. You know, the urban Indian coming to terms with getting a job, getting a house, finding the woman you love. What was it about your character which sort of attracted so many people to you? This was also the time of Amitabh Bachchan as the angry young man, and he was articulating a different kind of idea of India, and yours was a more gentle kind of struggle which everyone sort of identified with. Talk a little about that. What was it about these characters, these everymen, that attracted people?
Well, I think to begin with, you mentioned only Amitabh Bachchan, but I will go slightly beyond that. I was not the angry young man who could beat up 30 people easily. I was not the romantic hero that Rajesh Khanna was, that who could woo a woman just with his smile and tilt of his head. I was not the he-man that Dharmendra was. I was not even Jitendra, who could dance so beautifully and attract the female. इनफैक्ट मेरे पास इसमें से कुछ भी नहीं था.
White shoes भी नहीं थे.
No, so I thought that मेरे पास इसमें से कुछ नहीं है is my quality. And let me portray that without hiding it or without trying to pretend.
Right.
One thing which I realized while doing these characters slowly was that what was necessary was the vulnerability of this character, which no hero ever portrayed. The hero is not supposed to tumble, he is not supposed to fall down, he is not supposed to, I mean, he can do no wrong. That's our idea of a hero. So here was a man who could make mistakes, who could fumble, who could trip and make wrong choices, all those things. And I said, this is the vulnerability of a human being. It's something which, if I can get that correctly, then that will relate, because most of us are with some flaws, with some shortcomings. We are vulnerable. We try to hide it. But that vulnerability is something which related to people. I think I was probably the first hero which normally hero के लिए the women fall in love with the hero and the men fall in love with the heroine. But I think with me, even the men could fall in love with me because of this vulnerability. They could see, they could identify that, oh, ये तो मैं हूँ, मेरे साथ यही होता है और I don't know how to deal with it.
Right. But you were also quite, you could be quite mean and nasty as well, as we just said, in Bhumika and Khamosh. Khamosh, of course, if nobody's seen it, it's a spoiler alert, he's the killer. But how did you do that? Because it was at the height of your success. And I think everyone around you thought you were mad. Why did you take that call?
Very simple. I said it at that time also, and I will say it now. See, I get, once I know that I can do something well, and what I have done, people like it, then I'm not interested in doing the same thing all over
Yeah.
again, which is the minimum requirement for a stardom. You go on giving them the same package, again, what people love and what you do well. I was getting bored doing that when I saw a chance to do a character with gray shades or with villainish kind of totally black. I found it very fascinating and challenging. Can I do this well as I have been doing this? And I wanted to try out. I didn't want to run away from that. So that was the reason why I opted to do Bhumika. And then later on, other
actually, in the book also, you will see there are many examples
Yeah.
that he shies away from doing the same thing
Same
and
thing over
repeating
and-
the same things
Right.
all over again. There was a Vallabhpur Ki Dantakatha was his first theatrical, debut as a director. People loved it and it was going on well. He felt bored. He said that now I know, I anticipate when people's reactions and all that. He went to Satyadev Dubey and he said, Maza nahi aa raha hai, can we shut it? And Dubey being Dubey, he said, okay. And they stopped the production.
We go through some of these films. These are all written by Sandhya and directed by you. Specifically, I think when you look at Anahat and Thang, they're part of the what I would call the female desire trilogy. Yeah, the trilogy. And the first one was Daira, which was a highly, highly awarded film and shot in Odisha. Uh, Talk to me a little about, since we are here, talk to me a little about Daira and shooting it here, your memories of it. And what an amazing film. Between, the love affair of a man who dresses as a woman and a woman who dresses as a man.
Well, the most lovable thing about Daira was that it was shot entirely in Orissa at
I think
different
Odisha can
at,
clap for itself.
at at different places, and it was capturing all the beauty of Orissa visually was itself a joy. And then another thing which I had introduced into the screenplay was, I mean, it talks about a transvestite. Even today, I think one would, the moment I say transvestite, matlab kya aisa hoga? Because we are still only used to either
Yeah.
binaries. We call him a chakka or a hijada or something. Much beyond that is a man who likes to be a woman. Now, I chose therefore the Gotupwa dance form, which comes from Orissa, that the men used to perform the female roles without any vulgarity, I mean, with such authenticity. I was fortunate enough to see Kelucharan Mahapatra performing one of the most sexual and evocative scene as a man performing it without any external aids. So that was where I got that from this soil, and which was incorporated in the script. And at every possible level, it was sheer pleasure shooting here.
Right. And you still chose to go back to theatre then, after being a director for so many years. You went back to theatre. I think we have a visual later. And after what, 30 years, and you did a one-act play at 75 for 1.5 hours, virtually all by yourself, Kusur. I mean, why would you put yourself through that torture and not, make more movies or be an actor,
Actually,
on
this
screen? I
I
mean.
wrote when he completed 75 years of age. And people were like telling him, oh, we want to felicitate
Right.
you, this, that, and the other, or we'll have party. He's not into any of that. So I thought of a different idea that most people haven't seen his theater work.
Yeah.
So we thought if he performs once again and across India, then people will know his, skills as a thespian. And that's the reason why I wrote Kusur. If you buy the book, in the book there is a QR code, 17, and you can actually see his performance. We have managed to, I mean, he didn't like the idea that a theater is theater, you should not shoot it. But at least for the people in the coming years, people can actually see his performance, and you can scan it and view it on the large screen.
So just yeah.
I even at that time I said to Sandhya that probably this was the biggest revenge that she took on me and put me to such hard task. This performing Kusur, as you mentioned, for about 80 to 90 minutes
Yeah.
on stage, and I am alone on stage. To do that, used to be not only physically demanding but emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And well, I was happy that she pushed me and made me do this.
We performed in Bhubaneswar also,
Right.
actually.
Just as a last question, you reunited recently with Sharmila on Gulmohar, although in a very different role. What about doing more movies and allowing us to see you on screen a lot more? Farzi, for instance, you were so wonderful. Why aren't you on screen a lot more?
Very simple answer. When something different is offered to me, then I say yes. Most of the times, nothing different is offered. What I have already done 15 times, if the same thing is offered, I'm not interested anymore.
Is there
Nonetheless, you
something
will
that
see
has
him-
come your way recently?
Yes, a couple of things are coming.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so we're going to see you on screen.
Yes,
On OTT or?
OTT.
Wonderful. I think that's something to look forward to. Thank you so much for being here, for coming all the way. And maybe you should come back and do a sequel to Daira in this wonderful state again.
In fact, we do have a script
Oh.
which can be shot entirely in Orissa. So if right things
Whoever
are
is willing to fund it, please
Yes.
come and meet Mr. Palekar
Yes,
after
yes,
the
yes.
session.
It will be a pleasure to come and shoot here.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much.